What is going on, everyone? I am the FT Guru, bringing to you guys another episode of my fantasy sports podcast. And like all the other videos recently, I'll be talking about the MLB slate tonight. We have a pretty decently sized slate with a lot of good, high-scoring potential games. The pitching's a little sketchy out there tonight. There aren't many good options. But I'll mention to you one guy I'm really liking with his matchup and upside. So let's dive right into things, make this as quick as possible, and hopefully can set you guys a nice base or template, if you will, for your MLB FanDuel lineups for tonight. I'm going to stay fairly cheap with the offensive players just so you guys can pick up for the studs or spend up for the studs. And it should make things a little easier on your side of things. For pitcher tonight, I'm going to probably be rostering Tyler Skaggs in most, if not all, formats tonight. He's in a great position tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays. He's at home. He's a part of one of the lowest totals on the slate, and he's a pretty favorable pitcher tonight in terms of winning the game. So I like Skaggs a lot. He's in a really good rhythm as of late. Looks like he's come back from his Tommy John injury. So I do really like him tonight. In his last 4 starts, he has over 30 fantasy points. I think he easily gets over 5 strikeouts in this game against a pretty unthreatening Rays offense. I think he's going to easily get a win and probably pitch 6 innings for that quality start. So I think Tyler Skaggs is a pretty decent play in cash games and GPP games tonight. For any of you who are confused when I say cash and GPP, that's just the format that DFS runs by. Cash means contests that are easier to win but you don't win as much money, such as 50-50s and double-ups, where you only have to beat 50% of the pool to double your money. When I say GPP, that stands for Guaranteed Prize Pool, where you're in the bigger tournaments. You want to play riskier guys to get you up in those tournaments where they won't be high-owned and you can win more money. It's definitely riskier when I say GPP. That's the whole idea of it. But I like Skaggs in both formats tonight, cash and GPP, for his matchup tonight. Moving on to the offense, there's a few really, really good games to pick from. One of these games being Texas at Chicago. Both of these pitchers are pretty bad. James Shields and Doug Fister, both at the tail end of their careers. Both righties, and they're prone to give up the long ball. Both of these teams are really good to stack. One guy I'm going to mention to you is Jerickson Profar at 2,700. He's batting in the 3-hole tonight. Great spot for him against James Shields. We all know that Shields can be really shaky. He can get really wild, and he can just walk a bunch of guys. Profar can steal. He can, he can hit for extra base hits as well. I like him a lot in the middle of that Rangers offense tonight. I think they're going to put up a good amount of runs, along with the White Sox. On the other side of things, you guys should be looking at Yolmer Sanchez, another great position in the lineup on the White Sox, batting second only at 2,800. Yolmer Sanchez is a guy, he's a young player, and he's been great all year, batting 294, 2 homers, 20 RBIs. This guy does a little bit of everything. He can hit for power. He actually has a home run in his last game. And if you look at his game log, he gets a hit almost every single game. And this is a great game to pick for him because it's featuring 2 bad pitchers. Both offenses should be rolling in this game. You can definitely stack other players, but those are 2 of my favorite players from this game, salary-wise and value-wise. Another guy I'm going to mention to you is a pricey guy, but you can definitely spend up on a couple pricey bats tonight due to the great value going around. One guy you should definitely spend up for is Chris Bryant at 4,900. It's a little wet there in Atlanta tonight, but there's no concern for a rain out. There's no concern for a rain out for any game tonight. It's a little wet, a little moist. I actually read a weather log for Atlanta, and it actually says the dew point is is very favorable for the hitters tonight. A lot of moisture in the air. The ball should be really carrying. There could be a lot of runs in this game. Vegas has this game at a 9.5 total, which is tied for the highest total on the slate. I really like Chris Bryant batting third tonight. He's got a great righty-lefty matchup against Max Fried, and he should be able to get on base a couple times tonight. Bryant is close to a superstar. Some would argue that he already is a superstar. He's certainly right on the doorstep there. So I do really like Chris Bryant tonight for his matchup and position with that moisture over there in Atlanta. Cubs are a great team to stack as well tonight. You could also look towards Albert Almora batting leadoff at 3,100. I think he is on here. He's not even a guy I'm mentioning. I guess I am now, but he's a guy I like as well. One last guy I'm going to throw at you is from the Oakland-Toronto game. He's leading off. He's in a great spot, 2,500. Like I said, there's a ton of value on the bat side of things tonight. Curtis Granderson against Andrew Triggs. Andrew Triggs has a whopping 5.31 ERA. Nothing great. Certainly gives up the long ball. I like Granderson. He's been actually playing pretty well for the Blue Jays this year. 3 hits in his last 8 at-bats. He had 2 doubles last game. He's in a pretty good groove right now. It's a short groove, but it's a groove. And leading off tonight, he could easily get 5 at-bats. I think he's going to do some damage. His price is just too low for the spot that he's in. He's going to be pretty high-owned as well. I just like all the guys that I'm mentioning to you, other than Chris Bryant, are very low salary, and they're hitting in the middle of lineups that are in really good spots tonight. So there's really nothing else I can do for you other than watch these players succeed because they're in awesome spots tonight. So hopefully they pan out and get us into the green. Use these guys as a nice base. And until next time, I am the FD Guru, and I'm signing off.